When your top song of the year 2022 is Black Magic by Little Mix, you know that you are suffering from mental illness. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach. I am the Swiftologist, and on this channel, I make thoughtful weekly videos about pop culture, vlogs, whatever I'm feeling. And today, I'm going to be diving into my Spotify Wrapped and, exposing it and roasting myself, because this is truly, I've seen a lot of different people's Wrapped because everybody posts them on their stories, and we're all like kikiing and laughing, and people really like to, kind of show off their like really diverse, interesting music taste. They're like, I listened to this many minutes of this person, which means that I'm like really sad or whatever it is, or like I'm really deep and intuitive. My top played song was Black Magic by Little Mix. Have you heard that song? This is how it goes if you haven't. I'm a 26-year-old man, okay? Why was this my number one played song of 2022? I can tell you why. Because this year was a weird year. It was a confounding year. It was a perplexing year. And I feel like, and Spotify confirmed this to me when they give you little analytics about what kind of listener you are. I'm a compulsive listener. I'm an obsessive listener. When I discover an artist that I like that has, more than one or two songs that I'm really passionate about, I go the fuck in. I go all the way in, and I listen to every single song that I can find, and I make all of them my boyfriends. I do. That's just my behavior. And I also think that it's so funny that Black Magic was my top song of the year, but my most played artist, the most minutes listened to, was Mitski. Like, can you please reconcile I Bet on Losing Dogs with Black Magic? Like, it can only be mental illness. That is literally the only thing that can describe it. So as you can tell, I've been going through it this year, and I feel like my playlist really reflects the, shall we say, capriciousness of my inner world and my emotional state at various different times throughout this year. And you know what? I feel like with Spotify Wraps, once it gets past 80 or so, I am not really feeling whatever they've put together. Because I'm such an obsessive and compulsive listener, I actually don't end up listening to that much music. So people are always asking me to make videos about X artist, Y artist, and I'm like, girl, I don't know. I've been listening to Black Magic every single day. And Who Says by Selena Gomez. Those are my two top played songs of all time. Those are the songs that give me an instant kind of serotonin boost. And I think that you'll see that in my top 10. So I'm just going to unveil it to you as we go. So my number one top played song is Black Magic by Little Mix, as I've said many times. My second most played song, and this one really got me, surprised me, was Bum Bum by Camila Cabello featuring Ed Sheeran. And I remember when that song came out, I was like, Camila had a string of songs that I was not really a fan of. And when Bum Bum came out, I was like, yes, this is what I needed. I feel like when Bum Bum came out in 2022, there hadn't been a really carefree summer song contender, a pop song that wasn't really sad and miserable, or kind of Billie Eilish-y, dark and angsty. I wanted just pure, unadulterated serotonin pop. And that is what I got from Bum Bum. And you know what? Love came around and it knocked me down, but I'm back on my feet. It's actually a very profound song if you listen to it. And I remember watching the video and I actually felt emotional watching it. And I'm not a Camila stan or whatever. If anything, I'm not even really that interested in Camila Cabello as an artist. But this song did something to me. When Camila hits, she really hits. So I was a little embarrassed that it was my number two top song, but you know what? I'm just going to ride with it. And this is the first year since 2017, I think, was the only other year I didn't have this, where the top, oh, actually, no, never mind. My top played song in 2017 was Look What You Made Me Do. Okay, this is the first time ever Taylor has not entered my top three, which is crazy to me because in years, whenever she puts out a new album that year, usually my top 15 songs are mostly all Taylor from that album, just because I'm spinning it over and over. And I mean, I guess Midnight's just wasn't getting the spins. I don't know what that says about my opinions on it. I mean, I was shocked, honey. I was in tears almost when I saw the list of what had been compiled for me. But I guess my listening habits have just changed, I suppose. And I think, again, as I mentioned, compulsive listening is one of my less maladaptive coping habits. Okay, when I'm going through some sort of mental distress, what do I do instead of all the other things that I could do that aren't very good for me? I turn on some really corny pop music and it lifts me the fuck up. Okay, it raises me up so that I can stand on mountains. And that's exactly what happened when I listened to Black Magic, Bum Bum, and my third most played song of the year, which is Love Sweet Love, also by Little Mix. To my defense, I am a mixer. I try and keep that to myself, but because I know that a lot of people aren't interested in Little Mix, or they want to talk about the drama. Jessie Nelson was and is still my favorite member of Little Mix. I mean, I understand that she's terrible and her solo music has sucked, but as a member of the group, I loved her the most. And Little Mix, like, there was a lot of drama with them at the top of this year. And also we found out they were going on hiatus and they were going on their last tour. And I was like not able to go to the tour. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna blast the fuck out of all these songs. And Love Sweet Love is a great song. You should really listen to it. If you like these kind of unbridled, like synth pop, like explosions of serotonin, I recommend that song highly. And my fourth most played song of the year is the first Taylor Swift entry on this list, and it's Anti-Hero. Of course, the most I Hate Myself song on Midnight's is the one that tops the list. This is the first Taylor appearance and the highest played song of Midnight's for me on my list. I was kind of surprised. I thought that another contender would be in that spot that it's in right now, but it is in the top 10. It's just not in the top 5. But Anti-Hero, yeah, I mean, I was spinning the fuck out of that song. And like at first I was like, this is a bop. And then I was like, it's actually not that well written. Maybe I don't love it so much, but it just has a replay value that I think is irreplaceable and unmatched by any other song on Midnight. If I'm on my Spotify and I'm like feeling stuck about what I want to listen to, my instant response, the easiest thing for me to go for straight away is Anti-Hero. Like it's easy listening, okay? And the chorus, it's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Like that's just like on a loop in my head all the time. It's so good. I'm not going to deny greatness when I see it, okay? And then my fifth most played song of the year is Working for the Knife by Mitski. And there's a line in that song that just like speaks to the very darkest part of me in my most creatively blocked days. And it's, I cry at the start of every movie, I guess because it's wish that I was making something too. And I really feel that on a deep spiritual level. Sometimes I'll like read a poem or read a book or read an essay that is so wonderful and so inspiring that it like fuels a very abject sense of despair within myself. It's not even like a jealousy. It's not like an I wish I wrote this thing. It's a damn, like other people around me in this world are getting inspired and making stuff. And I'm sitting here rotting away staring at my fucking phone all day. And then there's that line as well about the world moving on. And Mitski's like, I guess I just didn't think that it would go without me. And it's so true. This song really kind of addresses the drudgery of a corporate life, even though that's not what Mitski's experience is. She has a very kind of like tempestuous relationship with working as an artist. And I think that idea of working at all, period, doing something that you don't want to do necessarily, but you have to do, that can be applied to literally anything in your life. A hobby, if you take it too seriously. This YouTube channel, sometimes I sit down to make another video about Taylor Swift and I'm like, I don't want to be doing this. It's that kind of like working for the knife feeling. And so that was on spin throughout this year. And then we're going right back into my coping mechanisms after that, because that was kind of like a self-harm song to listen to. Number 6 is Complicated by Avril Lavigne. And yes, it's a 20-year-old song, but you know what? It's fucking excellent. And it's the remastered version because the Let Go Anniversary Remaster 20th edition came out. If you like Avril Lavigne, I really suggest that you listen to that with really good headphones, because I find that the production elements have like really made this album so much better even than it was before. And I always loved this record, but it is truly so nice to hear some of the more like clashing songs like Skater Boy and Unwanted a little bit more crisp and clear. But Complicated, I mean, is one of the best pop songs of all time. Taylor Swift said it herself when she invited Avril to sing it on the 1989 tour with her. And it's true. It gives me that instant pick-me-up, and it's angsty. It reminds me of a simpler time. And speaking of simpler times, my number 7 most played song of the year was Touch by Little Mix, yet another Little Mix entry on this list. And I didn't even know that I'd stand them like that. Like in my head, I'm not that big of a mixer, but I guess like purely based on my listening habits alone, I am. And Touch is another one of those songs that like, you know, I get a little, my hips want to start moving. I want to start dancing. I want a little vodka drink. Like I'm ready to get to the club and start dancing. And I didn't have a lot of opportunities to get to the club and start dancing this year. So I feel like, because I had COVID when I was supposed to like go to a party and like a wedding, blah, blah, blah. Either way, Touch really, you know, got me through some times where I should have been partying and living my best life and I wasn't. And I think that's why it ranked so high. Number 8 in my top 10 is Karma. Because Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a god. Karma is the breeze in my fucking hair on the weekend, okay? Karma is, again, Karma is the second most serotonin-inducing song on Midnights. We have Anti-Hero first. I think that's the easy listening option, you know, because Karma is an acquired taste and like the production elements are a lot. So like you have to seek it out, I feel. If it comes on shuffle, like sometimes I'm like, this is too great. Like I don't want to casually listen to the song. I need to be like immersed and involved in the experience because it's excellence, and excellence deserves you to stop in your tracks and pay attention to it. So that's why I think Karma didn't rank higher than that, but I'm still happy that she made it into my top 10. And those are the only 2 Taylor songs that made it into my top 10. I'm so surprised. Number 9 is Mitski again, I Bet on Losing Dogs. This song is like therapy for me. And I think if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that every so often, just out of nowhere, out of context, I will tweet, I bet on losing dogs. That's it. Maybe with a picture of like Mr. Krabs face down on the floor, or like Plankton with all of the bones in his body broken. Like that's what I'll tweet. And I bet on losing dogs like really just it hit at a situation that I had this year with someone where it was like, you know what? I do fucking bet on losing dogs. And I keep showing up to the race and I keep looking in their eyes and knowing they're gonna lose and betting anyway. So that, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But I bet on losing dogs speaks to me on a very like animalistic feral level. And my 10th most played song of this year, which was very surprising to me, but actually in hindsight not surprising at all, was Silk Chiffon by Muna featuring Phoebe Bridgers. I was just thinking the other day that Phoebe Bridgers has a really good A&R person, because the collabs that she does are always really well suited for her. And I feel like she never has a miss with her collabs. Like I was thinking even just this year or end of last year and into this year, she has Silk Chiffon, Ghost in the Machine with SZA, which is pretty good, and also Nothing New with Taylor. And those are all like really good collabs that allow her to kind of try something new, but also stick within her wheelhouse. And I thought it was so fun to hear her voice and her writing. Her verse on Silk Chiffon is actually my favorite part of the song. To hear Phoebe like kind of have to do an upbeat number was really fun. And Muna are like super underrated. I feel like they are definitely pop goddesses, and they have a very like instinctive talent for creating pop music. I don't know if they necessarily have the like charisma necessary for me to like get into standing them, because I have to like really be obsessed with the person to stan at this point. I'm 26 years old. I do not have time to be standing fucking 23-year-olds like Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo, blah, 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 all those girlies that you guys are begging me to listen to. I don't have the capacity for it. It has to be a major bitch. It can't be an up and comer. I'm not interested. It's got to be a star. So Muna doesn't really have that star quality to me, but I really do like a lot of their songs. And I think that Silk Chiffon is an amazing song. And I feel like they're only just going to get better and better from here. Another song I love from them is Number One Fan, which I think is on this list somewhere. Now we're getting into my top 20s. I do use Spotify when I go to the gym or when I go for a run. So I feel like a lot of the songs on this list tend to be like upbeat numbers, because I'm looking for a higher BPM when I'm doing a run. I tried to do the whole like moody running. I tried to run to All Too Well 10 once, and it kind of worked, but I've decided that I need to be like literally shot in the face with pop excellence in order for me to get my ass out of bed and work. So the first song outside of the top 10, number 11, is Don't Call Me Up by Mabel. Mabel is really good. Are you guys listening to Mabel? She's a UK girly. I think she suffers from Dua Lipa clone syndrome. She kind of came up around the same time as Dula Peep, and she even a little bit like is styled like her. Like they have a very similar energy. Their voices sound very similar. They have kind of lower voices. Mabel is definitely a better singer though, fun fact. But Don't Call Me Up, it's like not even a new song. It's an old song, but I love it. It speaks to the black magic part of my brain. It has an extremely catchy like refrain and hook that goes over and over. And I highly recommend if you are a gym goer, or if you're looking for a Dula Peep substitute. I mean, Future Nostalgia has been out for a really long time. I highly suggest that you check out Mabel if you like Dula Peep and you're waiting for her to put something out, because she definitely has some bangers and some bops. She's also a good songwriter, and she's Swedish, and she has that like Max Martin nose for a really great pop song. The only thing she kind of lacks is a really distinct personality, but I'm not looking to stan her. I'm just looking to bop, and she gives me the bangers that I need. Number 12 is Our Lord in Heaven, Hallowed Be Thy Name, Cruel Summer. I was disappointed that Cruel Summer didn't make it into my top 10, but I do have a daily practice and ritual of listening to Cruel Summer with my noise canceling headphones once per day, every day, always. I have to do it. Those Christian girlies are always like taking 4 minutes in the morning to like listen to their prayers and like speak in tongues or do whatever. That's me with Cruel Summer. It's like I'm drunk in the back of the car and I cried like a baby coming home from the bar. I said it wasn't fine, but it wasn't true. I don't want to keep secrets, just get you. Snuck in through the garden gate every night. That's so much in my face. Amen. That's what I have to do, to get through the day, to get through these weeks. I have to listen to Cruel Summer over and over and over again. And number 13, back to Mitski, my queen, who really has shot up there next to Lana and Taylor as a very important artist in my life. In fact, Mitski overtook Lana as my number 2 most played artist of the year. And this song coming up is pure excellence. It's 80s pop. It's very not Mitski. It's Love Me More, the international best-selling worldwide number 1 hit smash from Laurel Hell. I am literally obsessed with this song. I love it. I love the production on it. I love that it has that kind of blockbuster pop feel to it. It's a very distinctly Mitski spin on contemporary pop music. And I love the idea of I Need You to Love Me More, that frantic like crescendo and build up of the song. It's very like panicked and urgent, and I love it. And number 14 is Rain on Me, Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga. I can only say gay. I am gay. And so, some of these songs that come on these playlists, Rain on Me being in my top 20, It came out 2 years ago. I'm gay. Number 15, we have another regressive moment. It's Bite Me by Avril Lavigne. And you know, Love Sucks was such a good album. I mean, okay, it wasn't like such a good album. It was a good album, but Avril has literally been putting out straight up garbage ever since The Best Damn Thing. If I'm being honest, if I can speak my truth, she's had like a couple of songs here and there that were good, but like in terms of an album, like she just has been doing weird, soft Goo Goo Dolls rock, or like some sad attempt at recapturing The Best Damn Thing, or Christian girl music. It's been a very strange ride and journey with Avril, but I will literally never quit. Like I'm simply in it too far and have loved her for too long. So I always give every new album that she comes out with, even if I don't like the singles, a spin. This was not the case with Bite Me. I didn't need convincing. Bite Me is such a return to form for Avril. It's so like tongue-in-cheek. She's giving you her dead-eyed stare while like smashing her guitar on screen. It really truly is, you know, all the things that I love about Avril digested into a TikTok kind of song. Like it's very short. It's 2 minutes and 40 seconds, which I didn't like at first, but I've kind of grown to enjoy. The entire album actually is very short, but Bite Me is such a good song. And Avril's vocals are like a fine wine. Like they literally just age and age with excellence. Number 16 is Best Believe I'm Still Bejeweled. I think we're sensing a theme here with my reaction and response to Midnights. Clearly, I am very into the bangers, the upbeat pop songs. Like what can I do but stand the absolute incredible, amazing, show-stopping, never been done before songs? That's all I can do as a human being, is manage to really truly appreciate excellence when it's put in front of my face. And that's what Bejeweled is. I am surprised, however, that like there are other songs that if you asked me to rank my songs from Midnights, Bejeweled would not make it into the top 5. And yet it is in my top 5 of Midnights. In fact, it's like what, my top 3 or my top 4 on this list? 16. I mean, we're in the top 20 and there are only like 4 Taylor or 5 Taylor appearances, including Cruel Summer. I mean, it's a showing that is very most surprising to me.
This is my dog Gertrude, by the way. She's just woken up from a nap. I'm sorry, I woke you up, but you have to go for a walk.
And 17, we have another Mitski appearance. It's Heat Lightning, which is such an interesting, moody, atmospheric song. I can't really tell what it's about, but it's like I've got this very clear picture of like a ramshackle house with a tumbleweed blowing past and a tornado in the distance and a bolt of lightning striking the desert. It's got a very specific image that's conjured up for me, and that's what I love about artists like Lana and Mitski. They just paint such specific, peculiar, lasting images in your brain. Number 18 is another moment of pop excellence from many years ago. It's I Blame Myself by Sky Ferreira, and I definitely took a redive into Nighttime My Time, which is one of the best pop albums of all time. If you're a new pop fan, you're young, you need to go and listen to Sky Ferreira. She's incredible. She has insane delays with all of her music, but she dropped a new song this year called Don't Forget. And, you know, in anticipation of that song coming out, I was flicking through the gospel and listening to all of the greatest hits. And I Blame Myself is, I think, kind of an underrated Sky song. A lot of people will point to like Everything is Embarrassing, 24 Hours, Boys, but I Blame Myself is my favorite Sky Ferreira song. It's very Reputation coded. So if you like Reputation, I suggest you go and listen to I Blame Myself. It has the best hard-hitting chorus ever. Number 19 is Breakup Song by Little Mix. I don't need to expand, okay? I'm just gonna leave it there. Number 20 is Question from Midnights. Now, I thought Question would be so much higher because I fucking bang on about it all the time, but I guess I'm being fake. I guess I like Bejeweled more, or at least I listen to Bejeweled more than I listen to Question and Karma and Antihero as well. So Question, I'm so sorry that I did that to you. All the other girls from Midnights are somewhere, you know, between a rock and a hard place from here on out. Okay, so from 20 to 40, it's more of the usual suspects. Number 21, I have The Only Heartbreaker. Laurel Hell was obviously on spin for me. Number 22 is How Come You Don't Want Me by Tegan and Sarah, which is one of my favorite running songs. Also so good. I think this is a Jack Antonoff produced number, and it was a very early Jack Antonoff produced number. Like it was when he was still doing Fun, that band that he was in for some time. So that's number 22. I love that. Number 23 is Number One Fan by Muna. I love this song. This is a very like stan song. If you're a creepy stan, then you're gonna love this song. Go listen to it. And number 24 is Lavender Haze. I'm also surprised that Lavender Haze is up there so high, and like songs like Midnight Rain and Glitch just haven't made their way up there. But I think that Spotify started like tabulating the analytics on this before December had even started. So like it was not taking into account these very pivotal weeks. As you may or may not know, I was in Japan for 2 weeks. I have vlogs out right now, Tokyo vlogs, that you should absolutely go and watch, because if I do say so myself, they are cinema. Episode 1 and episode 2 are out. I will leave them linked in cards and also down below. But I feel like I was listening to Midnight so much on that trip, and those results were definitely like not tabulated into this results. So I was truly perplexed when this came out. Lavender Haze, number 24. Number 25 is That's Where I Am by Maggie Rogers. That was a disappointing record for me this year, Surrender. It just didn't hit. It didn't click with me. I think that Maggie Rogers has like progressively gotten worse or like more boring. From Alaska to Dog Years and on and off. I at Split Stones as well. I really loved that era. And then I didn't mind her first album. I thought it was pretty good. But Surrender was just a little bit too indulgent for me. Like, it seems like an album she really made for herself. She didn't make to like be a good artist. She just made to like please her own sensibilities. And of course there's an element of that in creation, but you're also trying to strive for something higher, right? Like, you want to go for like a level of art that transcends just who you are as an artist, that enters a canon that is bigger than you. And I don't think that she managed to do that with this record, but I do love this song. I love this song. I run to this song a lot too. 26 is Stay Soft by Mitski. I don't think I need to elaborate on Mitski anymore. 27 is Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne, because it's the banger of the century. I told you. Love Sucks came out and I was doing a visit down memory lane. I'm a really nostalgic listener too. That's something else I think you'll pick up on in my top songs of 2022, is that I really, listen to a lot of old shit. I don't have a lot of new music on this. Like, there's a few things, but I really have my tried and true favorite. Number 28 is Midnight Rain. Slay, of course, a legend, the moment. Number 29 is Losing You by Solange. I discovered that for the first time this year, and boy, did that song feed into my mental health crisis. I mean, just listen to that song and then imagine you're in like a long distance situationship and you feel like someone is withdrawing from you and you have no way to like build a closeness or an intimacy with them because there's like a literal physical distance between you two, but that person is like not like being forthcoming enough to say that they want it to be over. Listen to that and tell me how it would make you feel if you were going through that situation. But yeah, whenever that comes on, I kind of have to flick it off now, because it was, when you over listen to a song at a very specific time of your life, I really do use music as a way to like mark the passage of time in my life. So I'll spin a particular song or an album when I'm going through something specifically, so that when I listen to it again, I can like access those feelings once more, which is useful for me as a writer. If I'm trying to write about something that happened a long time ago, I can go through my playlists and pick up on songs that elicit some type of feeling from me. And that is definitely going to be one of the songs in the future. Number 30 is Vegas by Doja Cat, which is just, I went on a trip to Phuket with a friend and she was blasting this in the car when we were driving around, and it was so good and it gave me good feelings. And I like a silly pop song, in case you haven't noticed. Number 31 is First Love Late Spring, because of course, Mitski, what can I say? Number 32 is Maroon from Midnights. Number 33 is Things I'll Never Say by Avril Lavigne. That is such an underrated Avril Lavigne song. It is a huge deep cut from Let Go. And if you like Complicated, and I'm with you, and you like haven't really explored that album in depth, if you listen to no other song, listen to Things I'll Never Say. Like, it is truly a fucking hit. I don't understand why it wasn't a single. Any other artist would die to have a song like that. It's so catchy. It is really honest and candid in a way that the rest of the album is. It's actually very Taylor-coded. Taylor's always like writing about the things that she wants to say but can't. That's what the whole album Speak Now is about. And this song is definitely of that tradition too. Number 34, we have a Demi Lovato appearance. It's Substance from her album Holy Fuck. And that was a pretty good album. Again, I think Demi is pretty inconsistent and spotty with her albums. Tell Me You Love Me was her last really great effort. The Art of Starting Over was really not good. And then Holy Fuck is okay. My problem with Demi is that she's always LARPing. Like Miley Cyrus, she's always trying on something new, or she's putting on a character or a costume, and you are left wondering, like, who is the artist? Who is the driver behind the wheel here? What are you trying to say? What do you mean? How do you feel? And I feel like Demi was trying to lean back into her screaming, shouting tendencies. And to be fair, it was more successful than any of her recent projects in recent memory. So I really like Substance. That was my favorite song from the album. So it makes sense that it's there. I also liked Happy Ending. I don't know if that made an appearance, but I liked that. Number 5 is another Mabel song, I Wish. Again, another banger. If you're looking to run, if you want to go to the club, request that. Number 36, Obsessed by Addison Rae. And let me tell you, if I Got It Bad and To Die For were on streaming, then they would absolutely be in this list as well. Addison Rae is the vacant, vacuous, dead-eyed pop star that we need. We used to have so many of them. Her best, I think, example contemporary is Hilary Duff, someone who's not that talented, not that charismatic, and yet still somehow churns out really fucking good songs that are just simple and easy and serotonin hits that you can access at any time. Not that complicated. You don't have to think about it. You don't even really have to think about the artist. You don't need to think about who they are and what they do. They are blank canvases that producers and writers can paint upon. And that, I think, is Addison Rae's greatest strength. And I think Obsessed is a good song. And then, of course, we have a tonal shift, because from Obsessed, we go into number 37, which is Your Best American Girl by Mitski. Again, Like I Bet on Losing Dogs, it is a feral song. It makes me go fucking mental. It makes me go cuckoo banana. And that's why I listen to it all the time. So the playlist kind of takes a dark turn here. So then we get into Skin of My Teeth by Demi Lovato, also a good song. And we also get Gaslighter by The Chicks. And that has been on my playlist since Gaslighter came out. I thought that was such a fantastic and underrated album. Jack Antonoff's production, I think, mingled so well with The Chicks' kind of like brash, bold, bratzy kind of devil may care attitude that they have. And Gaslighter is, everybody has a gaslighter in their life. My favorite line from that is, "You're sorry, but where's my apology?" Where's my apology, bitch? After Gaslighter, number 40 is Green Light by Lorde. And I mean, this is the song. This is the song of the world. There's one song in the world and it's this song. I'm waiting for it, that green light. I want it. I mean, I love melodrama so much, and Green Light to me is like the beating, thumping, pulsing heart at the very center of it. It is truly excellent, and it makes me feel some type of way. And every song on this playlist, apart from my Addison Rae editions and my Mabel editions, all of these songs, as you can tell, I use to access a raw and emotional state. 41 is Losing Grip by Avril Lavigne, again from Let Go. Revisit the remastered version. I can't say it enough. Number 42 is Valentine, Texas from Laurel Hell. Number 43 is Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. Because, again, that is probably one of the top 5 best pop songs of the last 15 years. Like it truly is. It's probably in the top 3. Teenage Dream is a perfect pop song. Perfect. No notes. So yeah, that's why that's there. Number 44 is Sweet Melody by Little Mix because, they had their number 1 and it was like a whole thing and Jessie had just left. So 45 is Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers. And Phoebe Bridgers is an interesting one. She does feature quite a lot on my top played songs, which is interesting to me because in my head, I don't listen to Phoebe Bridgers that much. I don't like her that much. I'm not that interested in her. All of her songs kind of blend into one. But with that being said, she's good background music, as in like when I'm working, when I'm trying to have a contemplative moment and I need to be like focusing on my thoughts and not what I'm listening to, or when I'm writing, I really do like to play the album Punisher all the time because it just is kind of like low interference background music. Lana makes me too emotional, Mitski makes me want to die, and Taylor makes me want to dance. So Phoebe fills in the gap of like non-intrusive good music to kind of spin constantly in the background. Number 46 is My World by Avril Lavigne from Let Go. Such a cute song, and that song is so nostalgic to me. It literally reminds me of being 7 or 8 years old, and like as you get older, that time in your life is harder to remember. So I love that I have these little time portals that I can hop into and revisit younger versions of myself. Number 47 is Right Where You Left Me. I mean, come on, I'm still at the restaurant. I'm still sitting in the corner I haunt. Number 48 is No More Sad Songs by Little Mix. That's one of my favorite Little Mix songs. Don't know why it's so low this year. Number 49 is Don't Forget by Sky Ferreira, which is the new song that she put out this year. I really love this. It's probably not as good as songs that were on Nighttime My Time, but I kind of looked at it as a warm-up, but I think it might be the only song we'll ever get from Masochism. Number 50 is Party for One by Carly Rae Jepsen. And again, when I got through the other side of what I was going through this year, I was having Party for One. I literally was Party for One in my room. I would turn off the lights, blast the music before I would go to bed. This is a thing that I learned from like a self-help video that I watched once where it was like, before you go to bed, turn off all the lights, dance really vigorously, and then get into bed and go to sleep. And like dance with no abandon, like dance like no one's watching. And that's what I did to this song. This video is getting entirely too long, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up. But, let's power through the last 50 songs, shall we? 51 is About Damn Time from Lizzo because, I think we were all ready to turn up and celebrate after a tumultuous couple of years, and that's exactly what I did. Number 52 is I'm With You by Avril Lavigne, so we're dipping straight from Shake My Ass to Cry in the Rain, which is, probably the 2 moods that I was swinging between the most this year. And then at number 53, we have Break My Soul by Beyonce because, I had to respect. I was kind of surprised that no other Renaissance songs cracked my top 50, but I guess that I just didn't spend that much time with the record this year. I anticipate that will change because I love Heated and I love Virgo's Groove and I love Cuff It. So I think those will come into play in my next year. Number 54 is Tulsa Jesus Freak from Chemtrails Over the Country Club. One of the most underrated Lana songs in my opinion, and one of my favorites too. Like it just has such a specific, peculiar, interesting vibe to it that I think is unlike any of her other stuff. Number 55 is You're on Your Own Kid from Midnights because, we are currently on our own kids. And 56 is Love Sucks. 57 is Push the Button by the Sugar Babes. Now, if you haven't listened to the Sugar Babes before, might I recommend some more British girl band excellence? The Sugar Babes have just reunited with their original lineup. It's very exciting and they are super, super underrated. This is such a banger from the early 2000s. Give it a listen. Number 58, Francis Forever, Mitski because, you know, as I said, this was a year of trying times. 59 is Cardigan, but not the folklore version. It is the Folklore Long Pong Studio Sessions version, which I guess I liked more than the original. Number 60 is Mobile, again from Let Go. That is also one of my top songs from Let Go. I think earlier I said that Things I'll Never Say was one of the best pop songs, and Mobile is right up there with me. 63 is All Too Well, the 10-minute version. I'm surprised I got enough spins to get on this, honestly, because who has the time? After, you know, after the shock wore off and the amazing iconicness of this lost song being brought to us kind of faded away, I don't listen to it that much because I don't have the time. I don't have the attention span. We are of the TikTok Gen Z generation. I don't have the attention span to listen to a 10-minute song, but clearly I did have enough time to listen to it to make it to 63 on my top most played. Number 63 is Everyone by Mitski. Number 65 is Power by Little Mix. I'm telling you guys, I'm a mixer. That's the biggest revelation that we've understood today from this video. Number 66 is About You Now, also by the Sugar Babes, covered horribly by Miranda Cosgrove, who butchered it. And I feel like a lot of people think it's her song or only know that version of the song. You have to listen to the Sugar Babes version. It's like actual pop excellence. Number 67 is Vigilante Shit, which, I mean, I think at this point, like, I don't listen to all that much music, as I said, so anything that got over like 10 plays is making it into this part of the playlist. 68 is Back to You by Selena Gomez. I love the song. Very underrated. A lot of people say it's boring or bland, but I'm a big fan. Number 69 is Dancing on My Own by Robin. Pain, and also gay. That's the only other explanation that I have for you. Number 70 is Kyoto by Phoebe Bridgers. Probably, I wonder if like my recent trip to Kyoto and me blasting the song over and over again had any influence, because I don't think I listened to this song that much other than that. Number 71 is Message in a Bottle, which surprises me, but also doesn't surprise me because Message in a Bottle is the best bad song I've heard in a really long time. Number 72 is Spitting Off the Edge of the World by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs featuring Perfume Genius. You gotta get into the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. They're so good. Maps is, you know, famously Max Martin's inspiration for creating Since You've Been Gone. There is a lot of iconicness going on in their discography, super like more low key if you're into that, but with still like pop influences and inflections. Number 73 is Jobless Monday by Mitski. That was a feeling I related to halfway through this year. 74, Heated by Beyonce. Okay, it did make it onto the playlist. Number 75 is Enchanted, of course, because I was enchanted to meet you. Yes, I was. Number 76 is Savior Complex by Phoebe Bridgers. We have some more Mitski, and I guess at number 77. And I feel like I don't want to get into the rest of it because, you know, there's just so much. This video is already so long. But some other notable features, shall we say. Cowboy Take Me Away by The Chicks. Love them. Naturally by Selena Gomez because I love my Disney teen trashy but good pop. Invisible String at number 95. I Hate You by SZA at number 96. And Spotify did this thing where it randomly added one extra song to my Spotify Wrapped, and it was First Class by Jack Harlow. Ew, no thank you. That's it. That is my Spotify Wrapped. I guess I'll wrap up this video with saying that I hope that you guys enjoyed all the content this year, and I can't wait to see what's in store for this channel and my audience next year. I really hope that you guys go watch my Solo and Tokyo vlogs. I'm super proud of them, and I just had such a like creative boost making them, and I want to make more, and that requires that, you know, you guys are interested. So let me know what you think of those. Also, let me know what the biggest surprises from your Spotify Wrapped were this year. Were there any songs that you weren't expecting to kind of take the upper place? Or did you have an embarrassing top song of the year just like me? Were you expecting it? I knew that my top song of the year was going to be something. I thought it was going to be Who Says by Selena Gomez, to be honest, which I don't even know if it's on this playlist. And if so, then Spotify is completely inaccurate because I literally listen to that song every day when I'm having a mental breakdown. All right, well, I will see you in the next one.